John Brennan is a former CIA director. And in the past, Trump has implied that, no, Brennan says there's nothing to investigate here, that when he was the CIA director, there was no connections between Trump and Russia that could be proven. See, Brennan's on my side, is he? Let's find out. Now first, before we get to the heart of the Russian investigation, I'm gonna show you a video about, hey, when Trump met with the Russians in the Oval Office and let us slip out, if that's in fact what he did, that, oh yeah, here's our information and intelligence we have in Syria. Now, we later found out that that was deeply classified information that the Israelis had given us and that they were livid over it. But he just blurted it out when the Russians were there. Now, was that the right way to do it? Even if you're the president, you can declassify matters. So is that still an acceptable procedure? Let's find out from Brian.
I shared classified information with the Russians while I was director of CIA. CIA, on a routine basis, shares classified information with Russians on terrorism matters. It doesn't mean that it becomes unclassified. It means that it retains the classification, but is releasable then to Russia or to other partners. But if the reports in the press are true that Mr. Trump decided to spontaneously share some intelligence with the Russians, I think he would have basically violated two protocols. And those two protocols are, one is that such intelligence, classified intelligence, is not shared with visiting foreign ministers or local ambassadors. It's shared through intelligence channels because it needs to be handled the right way, and it needs to make sure that it is not exposed. He didn't do that, if the press charges are accurate. Secondly, before sharing any classified intelligence with foreign partners, it needs to go back to the originating agency to make sure that the language in it is not, even just providing the substance, going to reveal sources and methods and compromise the future collection capability. So it appears as though, at least from the press reports, that neither did it go in the proper channels, nor did the originating agency have the opportunity to clear language for it. So that is a problem.
Let me decipher that for you guys. He's saying it's probably not illegal, and we've shared classified information with the Russians when we're working with them. And as the president, he can declassify it anyway, or he can keep it classified and share it with the Russians. But there is a proper way to do it. You go back to the originating agency, you make sure the language is right, we're not giving away our sources or our allies' sources. In other words, the guy's a total schmuck. You don't go to the Russian foreign minister and ambassador and go, oh yeah, you wanna know the intelligence we got about Syria and ISIS? Oh, just tell you. That's what idiots do. So now to the heart of the matter on his collusion with Russia. Brennan said Russia brazenly interfered in the 2016 election process. Well, that seems fairly clear that that Trump is wrong when he quotes Brennan as being on his side, that there is no evidence to that. Let's let you actually listen to Brennan himself here.
Did evidence exist of collusion, coordination, conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russian state actors at the time you learned of 2016 efforts?
I encountered and am aware of information and intelligence that revealed contacts and interactions between Russian officials and US persons involved in the Trump campaign that I was concerned about because of known Russian efforts to suborn such individuals. And it raised questions in my mind, again, whether or not the Russians were able to gain the cooperation of those individuals. I don't know whether or not such collusion, that's your term, such collusion existed. I don't know. But I know that there was a sufficient basis of information and intelligence that required further investigation by the Bureau to determine whether or not US persons were actively conspiring, colluding with Russian officials.
Yes, they were investigating it. Yes, there was evidence. No, by the time he left office, he had not reached a conclusion yet. But he believes that that conclusion might be out there. In fact, let me give you one last quote from the former CIA director. Frequently, individuals who go along the treasonous path do not even realize they're along that path until it gets to be a bit too late. So Trump and Gowdy, who thought he was gonna prove Trump right there, his Republican protector, Gowdy, thought that they were gonna get Brennan to admit that there was no evidence. Instead, he talked about a treasonous path. Anyone who thinks Trump is smart enough to cover all his tracks for all the deals he did with the Russians doesn't know a thing about Trump. One of the dumbest guys alive. Oh, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. Oh yeah, oh boy. And then when I do, I'm gonna get tired of winning. You're gonna get tired of something, but it ain't gonna be winning. Somebody hand me handcuffs. Young Turks. If you're a member of the Young Turks, you not only get the whole 2-hour Young Turks show on demand anytime you want, ad-free, but you also get so many other shows. Old School, you'll love it. Aggressive Progressive for guys who are true progressives. Now also Nerd Alert for gaming and tech. What the Flick for movie reviews. You will love it. Check it out right now at tytnetwork.com/join.